What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rant Roller Sports. Also, check out my channel Rant Social for more controversial political type social commentary. But I fine-tuned this channel into more of a sports channel featuring our major sports in this country, including boxing and MMA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA. But also bikes. This is a big component of my life. I always loved bikes since I was a kid. I always had a bike at any given time, and I'm 46 now. All through the years, I've always had some sort of bike. You know, from BMX bikes to mountain bikes to now an e-bike, an e-fat tire bike. I wouldn't exactly say this is a mountain bike because you really can't jump this bike. I would say this is a casual trail, like I'm on here. Casual trail bike that you can push a little bit, but not too much. It even says in the instruction manual not to jump the bike. So that's why you won't see any wild footage of me jumping the bike or doing anything crazy like that. That would be for an upgraded full suspension mountain bike that's built for those capabilities. But anyway, on to the topic of this video. The beauty of e-biking. This is, of course, an Ncm Aspen electric fat tire bike. Before my last video, I did a reliability update. So I want to show you the mileage. You guys can see it. Hold on here. Sun is out in shadows, but see that 72.8? So I have over 700 miles on it. Almost 800 miles on it, and it's been trouble-free for the most part, except for at the very beginning, I had to have the rear derailleur adjusted because it was off over here by the thumb shifter here. You see here it's in the fifth gear. Right, but before it would show fifth and actually be in fourth. So that was an issue. I had to adjust the brakes. I still have to adjust the brakes occasionally. Right now I'm just adjusting them right here, over here, but these adjust the brakes as well, you know, without actually going down to the disc and adjusting them at that level, which I'm not as comfortable doing. I can fiddle around with it, but I just rather take it to a bike shop and pay them the money, keep the local shops open, keep them in business, and let them do the stuff I really don't feel like doing, like gear adjustments and brake adjustments and things like that. Or when I go to buy a new set of tires, I'll buy the tires online and have the bike shop put them on, because that's a pain. I don't know if anybody's ever especially putting big old mountain bike tires on. It's a pain. Once again, the Lagoon, the Cell Royale comfort bike, comfort seats held up, no issues with this. And the bike has been trouble-free. But back to the topic, for the most part. The battery hasn't lost any life, the bike hasn't lost any power, the motor. And I'm a bigger guy, 270-something pounds, and it scoots me along just fine. Even if I have to use the pedal assist to go up steep hills instead of just the thumb throttle here, it works wonders. And this is only a 500 watt, so imagine a 750 or 1,000 watt would even be faster and more powerful. But right now, this 500 watts gets me where I need to go. The beauty of e-biking is this. I can come out here on my e-bike in quiet and in peace, not disturb anything, nature, not any neighbors that may be living in houses nearby. It's perfectly legal to come anywhere where right now this area and these trails and things like that, you can't bring an off-road vehicle. People sneak them on these trails at night, overnight, but they know in the daytime if they get caught, you know, they might have the vehicle possessed by the repoed by the police. They might get a hefty fine. Now, if you get a 1,000 watt e-bike or a 750 or better, that's pretty much the equivalent to a low horsepower dirt bike, dirt motorcycle. Pretty much the same thing, except the difference between the two is you have to go on approved off-road tracks to take dirt bikes on. Otherwise, you're pretty much illegal. Even if your bike is street legal, has turn signals, even if your motorcycle, is street legal, has turn signals, headlights and all that, certain areas say no off-road vehicles, period. So you might get away with it if your bike has a license, if your dirt bike has a license plate and turn signals and you actually is registered and insured and all of that. But they still might say you cannot ride that dirt bike on these trails, even if it is legal. Whereas with this, I have the capabilities of a dirt motorcycle by using the thumb throttle everywhere. I really don't have to pedal if I don't want to. I pedal though for the exercise. It's still a bicycle in my mind. I didn't buy it to be a motorcycle or a scooter. I bought it to be a bicycle that I can go up every hill. Some people that I run into, most people I run into love the bike, love the concept of e-bikes. Some old school traditionalists believe it's cheating, and I have conversations with them, and they're entitled to your opinion, but I don't believe it's cheating. I believe you get more joy out of an e-bike because you have no fear whether you have an injury, you turned your ankle, your knee is hurting, whatever is the case. You've got a bad back, your back is hurting. Whatever the case may be, you can still get on this e-bike, and even if you don't feel like pedaling that day, but you just want to get out in the sun, you want to let the air hit you, you want to see some different things. If you're injured or you're hurt or you're super tired that day and you don't feel like pedaling, even though pedaling is pretty easy with the different assist levels. You see the plus and minus signs, these are just the assist levels, right? And I can turn the computer back on here and show you. Right now, it's in the corner here, it says 1. I can adjust that, you see it says 2 in the corner here. Right, bring it back down to 1. This has 6 levels of pedal assist. I know it's hard with the sun shadows, but you see that 6 in the corner right there? 6 levels of pedal assist. So pretty much you can ride up any hill very easily without even standing up, still sitting on the bike. You can cut if you're hurt or you fall off the bike and you can't pedal, your ankle, your knee is hurting, you can still get home just by hitting the thumb throttle. And it acts just like a scooter or motorcycle. All right, an automatic scooter or motorcycle. No gear change is needed when you hit the thumb throttle. It gives you full power. It gives you pretty much pedal assist level 6 power without pedaling, this thumb throttle. So this is the joys of e-biking. I really recommend to you people that are on the fence or you've been dreaming and endeavoring to get an e-bike and for whatever reason you're kind of backed off by the price tags. Listen, this bike costs $1,100, right? $1,200 with tax or whatever, shipped to my door, free shipping. It's well worth it. I would buy it again. I would buy it for someone that I really cared for that needed a bike. I would buy it for them or recommend it for them. I'm going to eventually upgrade and get me a 750 watt or 1,000 watt, and I want a rear shock as well. These fat tires do a good job, but these tires, to save money, to keep this bike, the price point low, they did, put a couple of cheap parts on it, but none of it is broken off. So it's cheap to a certain point, but not Walmart cheap. All right, and one of the things they skimped on and put cheap on the bike was the actual tires. They work well for fat tires, but I had better fat tires on my Mongoose Malice that I turned into a BMXs on this channel as well. They were bigger, they were softer compound, and the knobbies were bigger as well. These actually ride on pavement better than those Mongoose Malice tires because they were really huge, big as motocross bike tires, right? But these tires are a harder compound, and you can see all the knobbies are still intact. almost 800 miles later because it's a harder compound. But what does that mean? It means that it's gonna jar you a little bit more over the bumps than a softer compound tire that would wear faster. So one of the upgrades I'm gonna make on this bike for next summer or next spring is I'm gonna upgrade the tires. Maybe I'll buy me some Kenda tires or something like that, softer compound to take the bumps better, right? But that's pretty much all I'm gonna do on this bike. I tried to unlock the computer to get it to go past 20 miles an hour because this is a class 2, but I can't find a video to unlock this bike, this specific bike. Can't find one. If you guys know one, please let me know in the comment section if you know how to unlock this bike and get it to go almost 30 miles an hour, which it has the power to do, but it comes from the factory with a governor. As soon as you reach 20 miles an hour, it cuts the power, right? But like I said, the fork is pretty good that came on the bike. I was a little skeptical at first, but I adjusted the pressure here, and after I stiffened up the fork, it's worked great, worked perfectly fine. The other thing is, if you're 6'2" or taller, this bike will be a little cramped for you in the upper body because the frame is not that long, right? So you end up cramping you up in your upper body if you're taller than about 6'2". And I explained that to one of the viewers in my comment section as well. So that would be the only thing. Hey, if you're 6'3" and you don't mind being bent over and a little cramped up here, especially if you have a shorter torso and maybe shorter arms, it might work for you. Otherwise than that, I would recommend the Rad Rover, which is a similar price point of $1,500. And there's another company that I would recommend as well. I'm forgetting their name right now. Excuse me, it might come to me. I'll put it in the comment section when it does come to me. But the joys of e-biking, it gets you out no matter how you feel. If you're feeling tired that day, you don't need no coffee, you don't need no pick-me-up. You know, all you got to do is get on the bike, and the bike says, I got you. I got you. As long as the battery's has some charge left in it, I got you. I got you up the hills. I got you when you get tired. If you got a heavy book bag on your back and you're tired, you don't feel like pedaling, just hit my little throttle and away we go. Like I said, some traditionalists will try to talk crap to you and about getting an e-bike. Oh, that's for people that's out of shape, or that's for losers, or that's for whatever, cheaters, they want to cheat. You still can pedal. You can put the pedal assist down all the way to 1 or 0, and you see how the bike feels then. Because this bike is 70 pounds. Okay, so when you put that pedal assist all the way down to 1, you best believe you're getting a workout. All right, and if you put it to 0, it'll feel like you pedaling in quicksand. So trust me, you can still get a workout on an e-bike. It's just that when you don't feel like that grueling workout, you can damn near change the bike from a grueling regular pedal bike to a scooter instantly. Okay? So these are the joys of e-biking. Coming out here, breathing this fresh air, especially amongst this COVID, this whole pandemic nonsense. It's best to be out in the fresh air, man. Get the sun, let the sunlight hit you. Breathe some fresh air. Get out in nature if you can. If you live in a city, get on your e-bike and go in the park and ride. And you'll get a similar experience to this. Okay? But the e-bike, the main thing about it, it keeps you riding. I'm going to be riding this pretty much all year round, except for below 20 degrees. Because then you have to keep adding layer after layer after layer after layer of sweaters and all, depending on your how acclimated you are to the cold, right? I'm good really above 35 degrees and better, but below 35 degrees, I got to layer up. Not because of the bike, because of the wind blast that's going to be hitting you. But get one. That's my message. It's been wonderful. I've had the bike since March. We're in now the end of October. It was Halloween yesterday. So we're in November. Over almost 800 miles on this bike. I put more miles on this bike than I have on my Ducati motorcycle. Just because of the ease of use. I can go anywhere I want. I don't have to deal with traffic. I don't have to deal with cars if I don't want to. I can get away from them and come out in areas like this. It's a joy and a pleasure. And this NCM, it's the name of the company, NCM. The name of the bike is the Aspen. Has been wonderful. Is it the best looking bike? No, like I said, they went cheap on a few things, and paint and graphics is one of them. I mean, it's okay looking, but that's a plus too, I guess, if you live in a city and you don't want a real flashy bike to draw attention to yourself. The battery is pretty well integrated into the frame. You can remove this battery. If you do, I want to give you guys a tip. If you buy this bike or the NCM Moscow, which is the 29-inch wheel version of this bike, and you go to remove, say you commuting to work and you go to remove the battery when you get to work, or you go into a friend's house or relatives and you want to take the battery, tie the bike up downstairs and take the battery with you and take it upstairs. Be careful how you slide the battery back into the housing. Okay, because a friend of mine that has the Moscow, he believes that he ruined the connection for the battery to the housing by just slamming and clicking the battery into the housing without, putting it in there very gently and making sure you're blowing the dust off of it. You can get a can of dust remover, the kind you spray your computer or keyboard with, and use that to dust it off if you're going to keep taking the battery in and out. But remember, take it out gently, put it back gently, so you don't destroy the housing, the connection port that actually sends the power from the battery to the motor. This is a real hub motor, not to be confused with a mid-drive motor that would be somewhere down here. All right? Once again, it's a joy and a pleasure to have an e-bike, especially not a super cheap one. A decent, this is a mid-range, entry level, I would say entry level, but you at least want to pay at least $900 for an e-bike. The electric bikes are great. I know a young lady that has one in this neighborhood, and she's been riding for months in joy, and she even unlocked her computer, which I'm kind of jealous because now her bike is faster than mine. It's the same 500 watts. But she was able to unlock the computer on her electric. And if you buy electric, it's reliable. You can unlock the computer and make it go almost 30 miles an hour. It's a great city bike. It's a great urban bike. It's a great rural bike. Talking about the electric. And it's foldable too. You can fold it up if you're commuting to your job. But this is the NCM Aspen from Leon Cycle. All right, so this has been Rant Roller Sports. Get out, get you an e-bike, get to riding, keep your lungs and your wind up, because I'm not a jogger, I'm not a runner. I'm a cyclist more than I am anything. I can run right now anywhere between 3 and 4 miles without stopping, but I prefer to ride. So this has been Rant Roller Sports, putting the roller in the rant. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.